Shalom, call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash, that abundance to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, Ruwell, who have taught us knowledge. Salutations to you fellow laborers, doing the work week in and week out. Shalom to you, and shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. Back at you with another lesson. I'm just keeping the same theme because we're in so-called Black History Month, and I just thought it was a fine time to bring up this subject matter. And at the end of this video, I have a title, which I have one in mind. Is very good because it pertains to the video. But this is the story of Mary Turner. If you don't know who this woman is, she was an Israelite woman whom her husband was murdered, and then she was brutally beaten and set ablaze, and while she still was hanging on for dear life, being that she was already 8 months pregnant, almost 9 months pregnant, almost ready to give birth. They hung her up upside down, and beat her, gasoline and burned her. Like I said, she was hanging on for dear life, and then they cut her stomach open with a cleaver knife, and snatched out the baby and stumped the baby dead. A bunch of Edomite men, which are so-called white men. So, let's get into the article. All right. It says, Mary Turner, pregnant, lynched in Georgia for publicly criticizing her husband's lynching. On May 19, 1918, a Edomite mob, they're not white, all right? They're really red. The word Edom means red, all right? It says, an Edomite mob from Brooks County, Georgia, lynched Mary Turner, a black woman, a woman of, a Judite woman of the tribe of Judah. Says, who was 8 months pregnant at Folsom's Bridge, 16 miles north of Valdosta, for speaking publicly against the lynching of her husband the day before. The mob bound her feet, hanged her from a tree, and it says, with her head facing down, threw gasoline on her and burned the clothes off her body. Mrs. Turner was still alive when the mob took a large butcher's knife to her abdomen, her stomach, cutting the unborn baby from her body. When the baby fell down from Mary Turner, a member of the mob crushed the crying baby's head with his foot. The mob then riddled Mrs. Turner's body with hundreds of bullets, killing her. This is not an isolated incident, meaning that this is just a rare thing to happen. When you do your research, which they taking a lot of this info off the internet, they always changing it up, making it hard to find. This was a common thing. This is 1918, All right, imagine when you were on the plantation, when you're on the plantation and you're, confined to it by force, and then being relieved from the plantation and still being terrorized by force. I mean, words can't describe how angry you should feel knowing this. All right. Now let's go to the scriptures. All right, I want to go to the book of Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 137. And I'll start at 7. The point is in verse 9. Because often you hear about gator bait, which is heinous in itself. Tying little so-called black babies up to catch alligators, They tie them on ropes, take them to the swamps to catch alligators, Use them as bait to catch the alligators, crocodile, what have you. And even just knowing the history of hardcore slavery, in itself, um, and they still frown upon you so-called Negroes, which is the tribe of Judah, and that's already been established even by the rabbis. They make mockery of you when you ask for reparations, knowing the history of what this country has done to you and even to the rest of us tribes, but especially Judah. I gotta keep mentioning that because so-called Black History Month is geared towards Judah mainly. Let me just get into the scriptures. Psalms 137:7. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof." And that happened. The Edomites always look forward. They was the main ones that was for and participating in the destruction of the nation of Israel. All right, the Edomites. All right, which today claim to be the Israelites. Ain't that ironic? Verse 8, "O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us." And that's the point. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was John Hyrcanus, the history of, well, you know what? I'll say that for another video. I'm going to get the info on this. Can I dig it up and I'll make mention of it, right? But it was a Judite king in history that would throw, I forget his name, so I don't want to just throw a name out there, Shalakia. But he would throw Edomite kids off the mountaintop. All right. So, these Edomites, they know the history of Judah. All right. And that's the reason why, they took great pride in doing the things they did to Judah especially. Okay. So it says, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. This is going to be recompense. All right. That's going to happen in the kingdom. This will actually take place, This show you that the Lord is a just God. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. The Heavenly Father, the Most High Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is a just God. All right. He's going to give, us Israelites justice, starting with Judah. All right. They're gonna get their justice, and so will the rest of us, because there are so many words to put into into a video about how heinous this crime was. I mean, even her family haven't even been paid or given any compensation in any form to reconcile what happened. And which really, according to scriptures, the scriptures say an eye for an eye, blood for blood. All right, if I can get that real quick, blood for blood, blood for blood. Let me see, can I pull it up? That goes back to the law. Let me see. Let me see. Life. Well, let's see. Come on, here we go. Let's go to Exodus 21 and 23. It started 23. It says, "And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe." So this is why, within Israel, it was a thing called the Avenger of Blood. One that looks to avenge the blood of his loved one that was that's life was, his life was, his or her life was taken. All right, and you would have to flee into a city of refuge to be brought before the priest to judge the matter. So, with Esau being our enemy, our enemies are the heathen nations, you know, there's a special recompense waiting for them. All right, especially the nation of Esau, Edom. Okay, because they're the main ones that afflicted us as a people. All right, which again they claiming to be us this very day, especially the tents of Judah. Ezekiel 25:12. Thus said the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shai, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and had greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Yeah, and this is an example. Mary Turner. All right, Mary Turner is a prime example. All right, even her husband. All right, now we know that we as Israelites went into captivity to pay for our iniquities, but you know that doesn't excuse the fact that it was done by the hand of you Edomites. Okay, and the thing is, you forward our affliction as a nation, and I'm gonna keep saying it again, especially the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negroes, the people you call Negro, African American, Black, same thing. You know, you forward the affliction of our people. Let's go to Zechariah 1:14 or 15. I'm sorry, Zechariah 1:15. It says, "And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped for the affliction." And you help for the affliction of the 12 tribes, start with Judah, because Judah is the lead tribe again. All right. So you Edomites played the major important part of our affliction being forwarded. Okay. And that's the reason why the Lord is going to give the 12 tribes, all right, us Israelites, recompense, the power to recompense you, okay, when we're in our kingdom, okay. Now let's go from there. I want to go to, back to Psalms. Back to Psalms. I want to go to verse, Psalm 68 and verse 23. Psalm 68 and 23, it says that thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thine enemies. Well, let's start up. Shalaki, let's start up. Psalm 68 and 22. The Lord said, I will bring again from Bashan, I will bring my people again from the depths of the sea, that thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thine enemies, and the tongue of thy dogs in the same. Because our enemies took us down, oppressed us, did heinous things against us, especially the Edomites. So in return, all right, we're going to have the pleasure of returning, double, all right, returning double. Because again, in Revelation 18, the 18th chapter says, let me get that real quick, man. I'm going to keep quoting it. Let me just read it. Revelation 18, about the 4th verse, if I ain't mistaken. 6th verse, I'm sorry. Well, let's start at 5. Revelation 18 and 5. And it's talking about Babylon the Great, which is America, okay? Revelation 18 and 5, it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven. Yeah, one of the sins of America is what she did to the people of the Lord, which is the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American people. We're the Lord's people, man. We're the Israelites. The world's best kept secret that have been revealed worldwide, in recent years, where this internet, all right, and the unicorn have pushed this knowledge throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, Psalms 19 tell you that. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, And the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. See? Again, that cup represents slavery. I brought that out in the last video I did. The cup represents slavery. All right. And you better believe all of our enemies are going into slavery, all right, under us in the kingdom of heaven. Because by default, the kingdom of heaven will be the kingdom of Israel. Because we're joint heirs with Yahushua. So, hey, we're the sons of the Most High. All right. We're sons of the King on high. All right, the King on high, the Most High. All right, Yahweh. You got Yahushua's only begotten. Then you have his sons, which are on the earth. All right, the Israelites. All right, the word Israel means, Yashar Allah. He's a prince of God. Okay. A prince is the son of the king. All right, and we're known as the princes of God. Okay, let's go to back to Psalms. I want to go to Psalms 58. Psalms 58 and verse 10. It says, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance, right? Whose vengeance? The Lord's vengeance that he will take upon our enemies, starting with the Edomites. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. All right. So who is the wicked? Esau, Edom, Malachi 1 and 4. Call them the border of wickedness. Okay. It says, so that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a power that judgeth in the earth. And we're going to say this, we're going to be praised the Most High, right? When we see the wicked being judged, all right? When we see Esau being judged, all right? Because Esau and the rest of the heathen, they had their part in enslaving us, all right? They're all going to go into captivity. And I'm going to prove that before I close this video. Let's go to it right now before I close. Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30 and 16. Let me see. I'll start up a little bit. Let me see. Just go 16, I'm sorry. Jeremiah 30 and 16. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So, hey, that's plain and simple. I don't need to break that down, We know what a predator is. We know who's the prey. All right. We know who's the spoiler. We know who's the spoil. All right. We know who is the, captives. All right. And we know who, is the one that took us captives. All right. So we're going to see them go into captivity. All right. Again, Revelation 13 and 10. That's going to come back in a major way, man. Slavery will be a thing that's going to be a widespread thing in the kingdom of heaven. So with that, I pray that this video was edifying. Until next time, I'm going to say shalom.